to talk to you to wrap things up was kind of put a cap on everything. Last night we talked about the sentence that you need to carry you through the next few months of residency. Now, I did this because there's something that's coming around the third month of residency that nobody is going to warn you about. And I've been saving this framework for the last night because it's the most important, because it actually takes the tools that I gave you the other 2 nights and puts them in your hands and lets you use them. So stay with me. This really matters. So last night we did the zones. Zone 1, residency ready. Zone 2, zone 3, burned out, or zone 3, and then burned out crisis. And then we talked about the drift and the things that seem to kind of drift out of your life and change when you start feeling that stress. And then the anchor exercise of why did you choose such a difficult profession? So now let me tell you what all of this was for. Because here's what I know about the start of residency that nobody says out loud when you get through the first 6 to 8 weeks of residency. It's exciting. You're so excited. You get through on adrenaline and cortisol and caffeine and no sleep, and you keep going and going and going and going and going until you don't. The adrenaline runs out. And when it does, something happens that most residents mistake for personal failure, okay? It's not personal failure. It's a physiologic event, and it has a name now. So, hey, around month 3, something's gonna happen to you. Now, it might not be exactly month 3. It might be maybe 2.5, or it might be month 2, or it might be month 4 if you guys are really resilient. If you have your morning routines and you have good rest before you hit July 1, maybe it's not till month 6. But that adrenaline and that cortisol is going to run out. And the novelty, the newness that made the hard shifts meaningful is going to disappear. And the exhaustion is going to build up. And all these things that you've been managing, right? You've been managing learning new stuff, being in a new hospital with new people, so you're gonna have to figure out new friends, figure out who's really on your side and who is just there to tell, oh, hey, PD, she did da-da-da-da-da-da today. It's a new environment, and it can be very hostile. So all the stress around that, and then it's only going to still be the beginning of the year. So the end of the year is going to feel so far away. And you're going to wonder, did I make the right choice? You're going to wonder, is everyone handling this better than me? You're going to wonder, what's wrong with me? And I need you to hear this very clearly. It's not you. It is not you, okay? This has a name. I call it the 3rd month wall. It's not a personal failure. It is a physiologic event. The body spends the first 6 to 8 weeks in a state of emergency. The cortisol spike keeps you alert and functional. Then your nervous system adapts and it drops off. So I'm talking about what happens in the 3rd month of residency. So your body gets used to that stress, and the cortisol and the adrenaline drop off, okay? Because your body starts normalizing it, that this is a normal thing. We're always going to be in stress now. And so that learning curve that got, that was straight up for the first month, oh, I'm learning everything new, it starts to flatten. So it's just so many things starting to work together in that 3rd month. And we want to think that it's us when it's not. It's our body adapting to the new level of stress. And I will tell you, I thought I had something wrong then, because I just kept telling myself, work harder, stay up longer, read more, do more, round earlier, push yourself more. And that's what some people will say. They'll say, oh, it's just the new environment, or oh, you're just getting used to things. And it's not. It might have already started to drift into burnout. And I'll be honest, you might already be down into zone 3, burnout injured, or zone 4, burnout crisis. And or you could be in zone 2. But when you get to that point in the 3rd month, it is difficult to see clearly because of so many things going on. But that's why I made a suite of tools, of which the ones I have right now are just the beginning. So first we talked about the zones. The zone 1, residency ready, zone 2, just the beginning of being injured, zone 3, burnout injured, and zone 4, burnout crisis. Then we talked about the questions of things not being as accessible as before. Then we've talked about the anchor. Why did you come into medicine? What propelled you into one of the toughest professions? And it had to be strong, because you wouldn't have come in and worked so hard and so long and done such a great job so far to get yourselves into residency. And I truly applaud you for that. But now is when you need the most support. Like I said, this is the toughest time for residents and one of the 4 toughest periods for doctors in your life. If you didn't hear me say it before, the 4 things that are the toughest for doctors are residency, lawsuits, divorce, and death of family members. So residency is tough. I don't care if you go to PM&R or if you go to ortho or if you're in derm. It doesn't matter. Residency is tough. And so that's why I have these tools for you to use and to learn. And I'm not saying you need to purchase anything. Just listen to the content, understand the stressors and what you need to do to protect yourself through residency so that you can go out there and crush it and you can go out and win. So the 2 tools that I have open tonight are the Intern Sprint, 5 modules, a online course that takes you through tactics, getting yourself ready for residency. Day 1, Module 1, build your foundation. Module 2, master your environment. Module 3, reset and recovery. Module 4, communicate like a resident. Module 5, own your why. Simple. I'm telling you, I wish I had this when I went through residency. I wish, because I had to hear it in snippets, in half-heard conversations, begging residents to tell me, and still by the end of residency, I didn't have all the pieces. And then the Before July 1st ebook is my philosophy on what are the permissions and what is the preparation, the permission, and the presence that you need to come into residency mentally prepared, mentally ready to tackle this tough part in your life. Because I wasn't ready. I went straight from high school, college, medical school, right into residency, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, that I was just gonna change the world. But this needs strategy. This needs tactics. I want you to win residency, not just go in, not just walk in there and let the wave of residency wash over you. That's why I created this. And if you could ever, I'll straighten out my wig. If you could ever find something like this from somebody else, I hope you would tell me. But what I know is there are plenty of physician coaches, but I do not know one resident physician coach because they like to talk to physicians who are attendings. But the ones who need the most support are right here, are the residents. You guys are the future. And this is the toughest part of your training. I send you blessings. I send you strength. BurnedOutMD.com is my assessment to see if you're burned out right now or to see if you'll get burned out in residency. I have 5 assessments up there. You are welcome to go take them. They are free. But the bundle, the Intern Sprint, and the ebook are only for a limited time. $57, guys. $57, not much, but it will prepare you for residency. So go out there. I want you to win residency. I want you to attack it like you are taking a test that you know you're going to win, because you can. And I will see you soon. Bye, guys.